Canberra Metalheads.
The Archives.
Me and You is Season 2. Alright, let's kick it.
Hello and welcome to the interview section of the Canberra Metalheads show. You got Marky Malphas and I'm joined here with the boys from As I Destruct. From left to right, we've got...
I'm Matt, I'm one of the guitarists.
Luke Dietrich, I'm lead vocals.
And I'm Matthew Morozzi, I'm also one of the guitarists as well.
Awesome, so nearly in the same order as you'd be on stage, singer
Pretty
in the
much.
middle and then guitarist on either side.
That's
How
right.
we're standing tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. Alright, well it's good to see we've got things in order early on.
Exactly how we like it.
Yeah, cool. Well, it's good to have you guys here. We were talking off mic earlier that this is your first time in Canberra and at the basement, obviously, as well. So it's cool to have you guys here and keen and early on in the night to bloody hang out and play some music for us.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah,
man. Really
happy to be here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Cool. Yeah, it's good to have you here, and also on a school night, but
Yeah.
like a Friday's not
Yeah.
the same as every other day. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys travel here today, or do you stay here overnight?
No, we've actually managed to come from another part of the New South Wales.
Yep.
So we were localised, I think, in Wagga Wagga, and then we came down here pretty much to
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah, so we left, 2 days ago, travelled from Adelaide to Wagga, which was...
Quite the drive.
Quite the
I can
drive,
tell you,
yeah.
there's a lot of green trees
Quite the
on the
experience.
14 or 12-hour trip that we took down here, but it was quite lovely to
Yeah.
come down here, so we're excited by it. So.
And played,
Yeah, cool.
played Wollongong last night at the Rad Bar, which was really good. We
Yeah, yeah.
actually, for quite such a small venue, it was really good, actually.
Yeah.
We were actually really impressed with all of the people that come out there
About the size
last
of
night,
a
yeah.
bedroom.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
so
nice,
good.
Very nice
It's great.
bedroom.
Yeah, very intimate, but that's
we
sort
like
of-
it.
yeah, that's how we like it in your
Yeah.
face. So yeah,
Lot
it's
of
good.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So you played Wollongong last night, yeah?
Yep.
What was the you obviously from like Adelaide. What's it like? Crowd differences. Do you notice much difference travelling and playing to a crowd that might not be as used to seeing you guys?
Well, that was the thing, because in Adelaide we had that safety barrier with us because we knew a lot of our friends and family would support it. So even if we played a bad set, they would
Yeah.
tap us on the ass and say,
Yeah.
"Look, go get them next time," or whatever. But this is completely So we liked the idea of that because we could gauge how the songs would react to the crowd we never played to.
Yep.
So this was actually a desire for us to do it. And they responded very similar to what they would in Adelaide as well, very supportive. And after the show, they'd come up to us
Yeah.
and shake our hand and do it. So the hospitality was great. We really were surprised at how similar it was to Adelaide in sense as well, and how they responded to different metal bands on the night as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. So you guys are obviously doing like a tour. Is there bands that are travelling with you guys, or you've got
All
locals?
solo.
of course?
We're all,
solo,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, how are you finding, like, comparing some of the local talents? Do you find some bands, like, really suit with you guys or things like that? Has there been any, like, eye-openers? You're like, wow, I never heard, like, much of those guys until we played with them. They killed it, you know?
Where was that last band that we played with last night? They were great.
Pestilent Doom.
Yeah,
They were
Pestilent
excellent
Doom. They were
last night.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed
Well,
them, actually.
they tried a new track out last night, and that was more of this black and death metal thing, and that was phenomenal. It didn't make the EP, which is a shame for them, because I told them put it out in an album.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see it, and they were testing new stuff. Thrash Bandicoot and Honduras, sorry, mentioned the thrash element. That's very similar in Adelaide. We got a lot of that.
Yeah.
Very
Adelaide,
nice too.
Adelaide is known for thrash or metalcore.
Yeah.
So, especially when we're at home, where I think for us it's a bit of a hard place to put us because we don't really sound like anyone in Adelaide. So
Yeah.
More like death metal in Adelaide, apart from bands like Universum and some of that, it is a little tricky. But
Yeah.
that's fine.
yeah.
I've heard there's like a fairly big metal scene in Adelaide.
It's great,
Yeah. Like personally, I'm going to admit I have never been to Adelaide, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
you
Like,
should get down there.
Just
It's-
like, but like from what I've just understood from doing the podcast and also getting bands that are travelling through, they're just like,
Yep.
dude, Adelaide rocks. Like,
Yeah.
It's
just,
like one big family over there. It's really good. Everyone's sort of close knit, and we all look out for each other. And
Yeah. Yeah, because we sort of, pretty much what Adam said. Like, we look after each other because we're such a small knit community in Adelaide, and we're starting to find with the venues and live music and that, it's really hard to sort of find places to play in that, but we're still hanging in there. We're still, and it seems to be growing, actually.
Yep.
Like, the scene seems to be growing quite steadily.
We've noticed that here in Canberra as well. Literally over the past, like, dude, to be honest, like 6 to 12 months, it's just gone.
Yeah.
Like, I tell you what, it's nearly reflected directly by this place being the main metal venue.
Yeah.
Since this place has expanded, so's the scene, because we've also, like, remember I was saying before, it's the capacity's gotten bigger. We're opening this area up. Once this opens up, the capacity goes up to 650, which now puts it on that stage with other, bigger bands. Like we had Black Dahlia Murder play here.
Wow.
Nice.
Not long ago.
That was with the boarded as well, wasn't it? Right?
and,
Yeah, I saw that
Zeolite.
card.
Yeah, those boys are insane.
Yeah. Oh, dude, insane. Just when they were doing sound check, I sort of rocked up a little earlier, and you just come in, and the whole room is just shaking. This dude just testing his bass drum.
That's mint.
Yeah, it's funny when people rock up and they nearly feel like they got their money's worth from watching the sound check.
Yeah. I'll tell you a funny story. We saw the drummer, and he was practicing on just on a big seat, and he was just sitting there in the middle of everybody doing it. And by the end of it, it must have turned into a pillow because he was just hitting this thing so fast and so hard, man. It was incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's nearly like he accidentally became a busker.
Yeah, he was just doing it, and we were like, got a crowd around him going, holy shit, and he was just like, whatever. So that was fun.
That's great.
Yeah, man. I actually seen I seen a video recently of Billy Gibbons. He rocked up to a busker who had the blues style guitar and stuff, and the dude just went and gave him the guitar, and Billy Gibbons just grabbed it and played a tune on this dude's guitar.
That's
and
great.
people just blown away that it's like, dude, Billy Gibbons
Just played your
is
guitar.
just playing your guitar when you were just busking.
Yeah,
you
that's
know what I
freaky.
mean? That's pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
Eh?
Yeah.
At first, when I seen the video, I was just like, oh, that's like a pretty good impersonation of Billy Gibbons. The dude's got the beard, everything's nailed.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, that actually is him.
That's great.
That's cool.
awesome.
Yeah, man. I think that'd be like a pretty cool following if you had like a YouTube channel of just famous dudes walking up to buskers that are covering one of their songs and jumping in and just playing it.
Yeah, that is a good idea, man.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be
Dude,
cool.
I'd take that over those set up, give a homeless guy a pizza one.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. Jeff Loomis can come here, I'll play, oh Jesus, man, you ripped the floor out of our lips. That'd be cool.
Still won't hear from him.
The awkward moment is when the busker was nailing it more than the dude because he hasn't played it for so long.
No.
Yeah.
Sick of playing that song.
Yeah. Oh, there's prodigy 13-year-olds, man, that I'm sure play the album better than me. Chris Brothers listening to it, man. But that's the fun that I play.
I've seen some. There's a couple of lads in my area. They're quite young and they play better than me. And they've been doing it for about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah, man. I think there's some crazy good buskers and stuff that you just see whoa.
Yeah.
It's back to the local scene. I was talking to we're talking from Todd from Psychroptic. And he was saying that when you need a stand-in man, because he's done a fair bit of fill-in work, and in fact he's one of the newest members of Psychroptic because he needed to jump in for a tour. He was living over in the States, and he was said on the podcast when he was on, he was already in the States. They needed a stand-in bass guitarist for their American tour. So they said it's easier to get a dude that's already living in the States, so when we go there, he'll be ready to roll.
Yeah, right.
And he said the thing was, though, it's easy to get talent. You go onto YouTube, you go, there's actually some really talented musicians who aren't in bands that are just uploading clips of them just doing stuff online.
Yeah.
But the hardest thing to find is someone that is prepared and actually able to tour with a band, to live on no sleep and just play all the time.
Yeah, that's one thing I think we're starting to find too.
Been learning that the last couple of days.
Driving, travelling and sleep and trying to organise things and, get to venues on time and whatnot. It's very much an eye-opener for us, which is good.
Yeah, no, you boys are staying on top of it though. I mean, reaching out to media and stuff like that. I got emails from you guys as Canberra Metalheads and as the radio show you, so you're hitting it from multiple directions, which is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. It's just how we do it. I think that's, if there was any advice from us that we could give to any bands, you need to sometimes show people. You need to go out and and put the fingers in the pies, I guess, in a sense, you know, not just sit back and hope for the best, you know. So we just decided, I think we work better in the deep end anyway. So throw us to the wolves and we'll see how we go.
Deep end and last minute.
Yeah, that's how we work. That's pretty, and that's it. Really is As I Destruct. It's that's how we work, man.
Just keeping it on. It's like a themed band.
Yeah, pretty much.
When we leave the stage.
Exactly. It might just be our last guys. So
so you know,
one of the things too with being the new guy in the band and coming in.
So you're the newest member.
Yeah.
How long you been in the band for, man?
Probably
since breakfast.
About 3 months. Yeah, about 3 months. And just coming in and just seeing how hard these guys like work behind the scenes.
Haven't had breakfast for a while.
Seeing how hard these guys work behind the scene and just the effort that they put into getting the name out there, and I was really impressed by it. I'd never seen anybody sort of work as hard as what these guys do. So,
and that's just cut you off. Sorry to cut you off, but that was a lot of thanks to Matt Young from King Parrot to push us along the way.
Yeah, dude. Like I was about to say, like we were speaking off mic about how Youngie's helped you out with the tour and stuff. That there is another example of a band and a person that is just like King Parrot and Youngie that is just on top of everything, just smashing it out. Like those dudes have gone, like I said as well off mic, like it wasn't too many, only a few years ago that they played here and they weren't the headline. And now they're touring with Phil Ensemble.
Selmo and the Illegals at the moment. I watched him perform. I actually saw a video just before we got on mic and watched him do a thing with Phil, which was great. One of their songs, which is really cool.
It's just like, just to see how far, and that's pure just being on top and just smashing out.
That bloke.
We're lucky to have
hard,
as well. We have Chris McEwen from McEwen Presents.
Oh,
as well. And we've also got Firestar Distribution as well. So we've got a lot of hands on deck. We knew how big this got, so we needed the help of many people. So those two as well have been one of our biggest helps as well.
Yeah, McEwen has been amazing. He's been amazing for getting us to the venues, and Firestar, or even just getting our name out there. Like without them.
Yeah, knock on these doors, the right doors. They've cut a lot of time work out too.
You've got to be prepared. You know, if you're going to do it, you've got to go 100%. So,
exactly. It's like anything like that I do. Even why would you half do a hobby for 20 years and decide you don't like it? You may as well go in hard and work out early whether you've got it or not.
I'm into that.
Might as well. The old saying is, you might as well fail at something you enjoy than. Failing at something you hate.
Just live life wishing. If you're living life just wishing, that's
exactly right.
That's the worst thing you do to yourself.
Exactly.
And that's why we're here. So,
that's
which is good.
And I find that it's a growing sort of agreement in the music industry. A lot of bands have that mentality that I've spoke to on the show, because I think that musicians represent people that have gone out to actually do something. Because if you didn't have that drive, it's a very hard industry to get into if you're just expecting everything to happen for you.
True.
So if you're in a band and you're touring, then you've already shown that you've been passionate and keen about something.
Exactly right.
That's right. Yeah.
That's you've got to get your name out there. You've got to show your face.
Yep.
You've got to.
Yeah, and exactly, that's exactly right. And it's like we were saying before, like touring, it definitely tests out the bond, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. You start to realise what it's like to do it with the Little Sleep as well. The personalities come out, and everyone in this band's very driven. So obviously, those personalities are going to clash at some point, because everyone's taking their direction that they see will give us to the stars, And that we admire it, but at the same time, it's what you have to do, But at the end of the day, we make sure we leave out for the fans, because they're the number one person we have to please.
That's right, yeah.
And that's all. That's pretty much all our focus is, just to give our music to the fans and let them have it. Like,
let them have it.
This is for you. Like, this isn't for us. This is,
it's your song now. It's for your wedding or your funeral
or whatever.
You use it for what you need it for, man.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's good. It's just sort of like what you. Here's something, you do what you want with it, and you take it how you want to take it.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So we mentioned before that you've been in the band for 3 months. Are you guys both original members?
Yeah, me and Luke and Josh are the original members, who's the bass player as well.
And so how long's the band been? How long's it been since you formed?
Well,
the
this
band?
is from the ashes of Quarry of Verum. So they were the previous band. Luke joined in for that demise because as soon as he came in, it changed. It like, no, we cannot be a melodic / power metal band anymore. / metalcore band.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have to go into the death metal now because Luke's biggest strength lies in that.
Cool.
So that's been about going for 2 years. We had problems with the album. We had to record it twice, which delayed us coming out. But
Right.
Here we are now 2 years later, and it's pretty much still a very baby band though. You know, this is
Yeah.
our first tour. We've only done about 3 or 4 gigs with these songs, so it's
Yep.
very young in its process still.
Awesome. So you're kind of getting to learn the music on the road as well, like learn how it meshes with the crowd while you're on the road. So that's that's a pretty steep learning curve. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, you guys operate well in the deep end. So
Yeah, it's like it's just I think I don't know if we subconsciously like the stress. I don't know.
Well, the funny thing is, what's the guy from Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath once said, like he's still learning how to play Paranoid, 30 years into it, and that's kind of the thing as musicians. You're always evolving your technique, your sound and stuff, and what you get out of the instrument. So I'm just taking that on board and just getting that a bit better, and hopefully, giving it to the people for a better performance.
Yeah, exactly right.
yeah, sometimes it's actually the song, the feel of the song may change over time as well. And how you feel about playing that song. You notice if you get more passionate about something, it changes the feel of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for example, a song is nearly like sometimes when you have a girl in the friend zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I've never really seen her like that.
Oh,
And
wow.
you
Yeah.
start to get like the
That's a great
passion and
example.
then
Yeah,
dude, what the hell? Like, where's she been all my life?
yeah. Well, we're finding that with Redemption because when
Maybe
we
a bad example.
No. Well, that's the thing. We had fans like last night who moshed to Redemption. We've never had that, and all of a sudden now I'm like, is this the people's song? Like, is this what they want to hear? And that lightened it up. Yeah, because we thought that middle section was really heavy on the record, but they didn't respond, so maybe it's not. But then last night they embraced it, and we're like, bam, that love's been rekindled, and all hope has been restored in humanity.
Yeah.
So it's part of the deal, I guess.
Seeing people mosh out, and then even people returning the vocals back, like even
That's crazy.
That
It's only been
was-
out for a week, this album.
Yeah, that was
people like
intense.
singing the songs like, now I can't stuff it up anymore.
yeah, no, I can't get this wrong anymore because you'll be on me like white on Ross. So like,
I always think of that scene in that movie Rockstar where the dude's just out the front singing to the thing.
Yeah.
And the singer's, he's so beaten up and just over the rockstar life that he just leans down, pulls him up, gives him the mic, and just walks off into the sunset.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a great movie, actually.
Yeah, that's like. There's a few movies that constantly come up in the scene, and that's one of them. Like
yeah.
you can nearly reference it, and people are like, I love that bit,
yeah.
So much from that movie. My mum being like an 70s, 80s big music fan, and laughing her ass off the whole time because just so much of that movie was, she said it, so much of it rang true. Yeah.
At a King Parrot gig, man, this girl, you know how the pit can get pretty gnarly at King Parrot. This girl came along, and I had my hands on the barrier, and she just comes up next to me and then sort of slots in front of me like that, and I'm just kind of copping hits to the back, like, you know in Terminator 2 how he chucks John Connor on the bike and he's just copping shotgun blasts to his
What a
back.
great movie.
Yeah.
I'm just copping that kind of stuff for this girl, and at the end she just sort of turns around, smiles, and then walks off waving as I leave. I'm just like, well, to be honest, I'm just happy that there's more females at a King Parrot gig. Like, it's great. Like, in the scene, it's always hard to sort of push the 50-50 crowds.
Yeah.
It just never.
I think with that, like, I think girls are starting to get into metal a lot more.
Yeah.
They're
It's
starting.
It's
They're starting to realise,
Yeah.
like, oh, we're okay to go to these gigs. Like, come. We want you to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not as even as bad as it used to. Like in 2012, I seen Lamb of God, Black Dahlia Murder, and In Flames at UC.
Yep.
And that was one of my first metal gigs, and that I went to, for a big headline act,
Yep.
like Lamb of God.
Yep.
And man, there's more girls now in the scene than there was then. That was only not that long ago,
Yeah.
And the other thing is too, I've noticed that there's more alternative. The alternative scene is more socially acceptable. Do you remember when like Suicide Girls were the
Oh, those girls with the tats and stuff.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like all of a sudden Suicide Girls.
It's becoming a norm now.
We're like, oh, dude, like,
Taboo.
subscribe to Suicide Girls if you want to see a chick with tattoos. It's just like, dude, you could just about go into a club and any person, and it's just like they have full sleeves now. It's like, like, what am I paying for Suicide Girls for? It's normal.
Exactly right.
I won't pay for clean skin. Worth more money.
My people will come back in, all my heavy arms. That's good. Yeah.
I've definitely noticed that, and something I've discussed with my...
Good, dude. How are you?
Good, man.
See you. Sorry for interrupting.
That's all good.
I'm Anthony.
This is,
Mikey.
Do you want to sit down?
Anthony,
I'd love to,
our drummer.
dude.
Yeah, man, just grab a chair. And...
welcome, Tony. Sound check good?
It was good, and after this, whenever we're ready, we gotta.
Yeah, it's definitely not a boys' club anymore, and I think it's a great thing that the equality.
I think
not just in the crowd too, but
I think they've been going to shows.
Yeah.
It's just like death metal shows. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I saw like Rat in the 80s, 90s. They were all women there in this concert. You know what I mean? It's just.
I think it's
more
the
extreme
style as well.
Yeah, the misconception that the whole entire concert is a mosh pit is just, that's I think that came around. But you know, again, there's been encouragement and.
Like I've had blokes come up to me before after gigs and that say like, oh, would you ever want more girls there? And it's like, well, music is, it calls out for whoever it wants, and if girls don't like death metal or melodic death metal, it's not going to be upset about it. But I'm sure.
But we also want to create a space as well.
Yeah, but don't feel free to come in. Like you're one of us.
To be honest, like the way I look at it is, if you're a fan of the music, it doesn't matter whether you're male, female, or what. If you want to watch and you're passionate, that's what makes a good crowd.
Yeah, if you've come to our gig and you've paid your money, you have the right to be there. That's our attitude. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you look like, who you are, where you come from.
Where you come from. If you can, you can. Speaking of your crowd presence, I mean, and your stage presence. Now we've got Tony here, the drummer, as well, joining us. We might be able to talk a little bit more about that rad video clip that I shared the other day.
Oh yeah.
What was that like, man?
Cheers, man.
That's some insane looking, like, sort of videography.
Thank you.
And that looked and sounded amazing. So what was that like to film? Is that your first video?
It was a long day, but it was really, really fun to do. And Andy Kite putting all that together, it was it was a really good day.
Yeah, Andrew Kite and his wife Beck, they were amazing. Andrew Kite was the one that originally recorded our album, and obviously he went above and beyond for that. But then when it came to the film clip, they said, look, we're going to try this. We've got these new cameras. We want to do this, and we just sort of said, look, this is a storyboard. This is a sum of what we want. It's your toy. Go for it.
Yep.
This music is as much as yours as it is ours. What do you reckon? And what become of it was a whole bunch of people involved, and what you see is because of a whole bunch of hands in the pie, So
Yeah,
Speaking
awesome.
of girls in metal, you get to see our drummer with his top off in it. So
that's a
bonus.
Yeah, that's a selling point.
The nipple,
But yeah, it was a good experience. Long day, but interesting and very, very satisfied with the end product. But I'm hoping everyone else is, So.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like as soon as I seen that, I was like, no, I just shared the event. I want to share that as well, so people get a little taste of what they got in for.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, no, much appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Well, hopefully your fans like it. So
Well, look, the fans of the show appreciate anyone that throws out passion. You guys got plenty of that, so I'm sure that they'll like it. And also, I noticed that you had some merch and stuff there. Is there anything that you're pushing at the moment, like sales wise? Do you have
Our album, man.
Yeah.
That's the number one.
The number one?
That's the baby pride and joy right there.
We just want to get the feedback, with the album, because we decided that this album, what direction we'd take musically, and hopefully the response is really good. We'll take some t-shirts and some beanies and that to celebrate as well. So
cool.
Yeah.
I usually like to. I mean, obviously, like you said, the album's number one, but sometimes like people will be like, oh man, like we've also got these shirts that we put out that we want to stop trying, like you notice Autopsy just put out their latest album, which also had like the new shirt designs as well. So it's
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're working with this artist called Barul, and he works for Abomination Imagery. He did the artwork for the album, so he's doing our merch as well.
Oh, cool.
So we're hoping that reflects really well as well. It's very dark distorted style reflects our music really well. So we've decided to get the merch done from him too. Like, you know what? You're doing a good thing. Just keep it going,
keep
mate.
it going.
And he's happy to do it. We've got a great relationship with him now.
He's fantastic.
So he keeps on going on. So we're going to hopefully in the near future show you guys more and more of that and some of the artwork in the CD as well.
Cool. All right, so is there a? Do you guys have a Bandcamp or like a big cartel or something where they can purchase anything online?
We will be once we get home from this tour, we will be putting up the internet site, and it will be connected to a shop, and everything will be on there.
Cool.
So, but that'll be up on our Facebook. So you just follow the link there.
Yeah, sure.
But for now, it's just like Spotify, Apple Music, Nerve, Gas.
And if you want merch, you just come to the shows, I guess.
Cool.
Or personally message us. Like
Hit us up on
really,
Facebook.
if you want, personally message us your size of whatever you want.
Facebook and Instagram, we always on it, man.
We're happy to
Yeah,
send them
that's
out
it.
to you. That's not a problem at all. Like,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just Facebook or Instagram, As I Destruct. Straight and simple.
Cool. Yeah, we like to push as many platforms as you got. So if you like, for everybody out there listening, if you don't come to one of the gigs, which is obviously the best place to get everything, head on over to their social media accounts, As I Destruct, on Facebook and Instagram. And also keep an eye out for once a online platform comes. And until then, hit them up.
That's exactly right.
Sounds
Thank you
good.
very much. Yeah.
Cool.
We are As I Destruct,
and you're listening to Canberra Metalheads.
Bianca, bam!